Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, good day. You're welcome to the Pan African Leadership Center, and I am your host for today. My name is Patience Gansa. Today, we will be discussing the topic motivating and encouraging employees. And our special guest this morning is Mrs. Akofa Hoga Eduse. I would like to welcome her. Akofa, she's an HR personnel, an HR professional, and has about 12 years, over 12 years of experience. So I'm sure we'll learn a lot from her this morning. Um, Akofa, you're welcome on the show.
Thank you, Patience. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome on the show. So this morning we are talking about motivating and encouraging employees, and for me this is a very interesting topic, and I think that it's actually a very good thing, and left to me alone, I would say it's important that employees are motivated because I feel like it's going to help them be effective at work. I don't know what your opinion is, but that's why we're here today to learn a lot from you. So, okay, first of all, I would like to say that maybe you should introduce yourself to us. I know I've said something little about you, but I mean, introduce yourself to us one more time.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Patience, for the opportunity. Um, you've already mentioned my name, but my name is Akofa Hoga Bentel, and I work with one of the financial institutions in this country. I practice HR, so I'm an HR practitioner.
Okay.
But currently, in a different um, let me say, function of the organization, trying to do some form of attachment, like learning new skills.
Okay.
Yeah, but my background is in HR, like you mentioned. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Um, I could just add that I'm married with one lovely daughter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Akofa. So let's dive in straight into the topic for today. So, would you say that it's important for a leader to motivate and encourage his team members? And if yes, why? If no, why?
Definitely. Maybe we just like to just look at the definition of what motivation means or what
Yes.
motivation is. So basically, motivation is a form of giving encouragement or boosting the confidence of employees, of giving them some hope, to make them, more productive at work or more effective at work, what they do.
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, at the end of the day, it will result in productivity. So therefore, it is very important. And so the more motivated employees are, you see that productivity will be at a so sorry, productivity will be at a high level. And so motivated employees are positive. So their attitude towards work is very positive as well. And so they get things done and get done well. So yes, motivation is key. Is key. Um, yeah.
Okay. But how do you encourage or motivate your employees as a leader? Like, how do I explain this now? So, I mean, you have a team.
Yeah.
What do you do to encourage them, especially when you know that okay, maybe there's like pressure at work and then a lot of things are going on, and you just feel like these people are not productive enough. What do you do? How do you do it?
Okay, so we have different levels of employees in the company, and each of
Okay.
them will require, a different approach to, or a different kind of motivation. Let me put it that way. I don't want to go into much into the Maslow's theory, but according to Maslow, people have needs and there are different levels. So for every level, whatever level one person might be in will require a different level of motivation, to work for them. So I'll just mention a few, ways of motivating employees, and then try to make it cut across all the different needs or the different levels of needs of employee. So according to Maslow, at the bottom of the hierarchy, we have physiological needs. So people, they desire to have, food, clothing, shelter. Someone at that level, will be looking at salary, making sure that what you pay them is in accordance to the industry they find themselves in. So you try and make sure that you pay your people well according to the market. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and also looking at the geological area that you're in. So, for example, you might be in the same industry, but in different areas. So, in Accra, the standard of living in Accra and somewhere in the north might be different. So, although you're in the same industry, you're looking at the geological area as well. So, just try and make sure that your people are paid well, putting into consideration the industry you're in and then geological area as well. And then we're looking at safety. Okay, it's so somebody in, let's say, in the manufacturing area, you have to make sure that the health and safety of the employees are put, strategies are put in place to make sure that whatever work they're doing, they're kept safe. And then we are looking at medical as well. So in case somebody gets hurt at work or something happens, there's always this, structure in place to take care
Insurance.
of them. So,
Mm,
exactly, so that the people know that they are safe even when they come to work.
mm,
And then something happens, they are catered for. So we're looking at safety, we're looking at provision in terms of your salary. We're looking at even the environment of the office. Okay, you can enter an office and everything just so cozy and bright and
mm.
nice, and you're like,
Just
wow, I like to
open.
work here. Exactly, home away from home. Make sure your environment, the office space, is clean and is healthy and is comfortable. The chairs, people don't sit and start having backaches. The ergonomics, everything is comfortable and you know and appealing to the
Mm,
employee, so that, I mean,
mm,
anytime they are coming to work, they know that, even if home is not as comfortable, then they will always want to be at work. Just make the place comfortable for them, a pleasant environment for them to work in. Aside this, maybe moving a bit higher in the hierarchy, we're looking at social needs, which is like the third on the Maslow's hierarchy. So social needs, we're looking at people want to be part of a community, a society, like building relationships. So in this way, making sure that you promote teamwork is some form of motivation. Making the team comfortable, making sure that um, there's respect among colleagues, there's
mm,
honesty, there's some form of support even from management, so that they feel like they like it's a family. That form of bond and
mm,
relationship building
mm,
is there. Yes. And everybody is treated fairly and with respect. Respect is very key, especially in this part of Africa, where, especially when your leaders are a bit younger than you
mm.
know already there's that,
Yeah,
I don't
tension.
know, that ego. Yes. So
Okay.
making sure that there's respect and, among team members would would kind of like be some form of motivation. Um, and also, recognition. So this is a bit different from the salary, the pay. So recognition in the form of a thank you, or like an award where you organize for colleagues who
Mm,
do well in certain areas. We see that a lot in the um, marketing areas,
mm,
where you see when you go to a hotel or you go to a mall and you see plaques of employees that have done well, as a form of recognition. You can give gifts, you can have a recognition, awards night or something like that, where you recognize colleagues who are doing well in certain areas. Um, that is some form of motivation as well.
mm,
And we're also looking at making employees feel that their input is appreciated.
Mm.
So I'm in a company, and maybe I'm not even in a senior level management, okay, but at every
Okay.
meeting, they ask for my opinion. I feel like whatever
Okay.
I say is important to the business, you know.
Akofa, are you there? I think that's the network.
And so um
Okay.
yeah, so making employees feel like they are part of the growth of the business, being part of the
Okay.
business as a whole.
Hello, Akofa, are you there? Hi. I think her
So
network
their
is.
their contribution is, well, sorry, I think there's a little break. Yeah, I
Yes, yes.
realize that.
Welcome back.
Okay. And also, yeah, okay, also setting clear goals for employees. So, I mean, we know some of the sectors where we know that people go to work and half of the day, time is wasted. it's it's demotivating, basically, especially for somebody who has some form of energy and wants to grow and wants to build themselves, and then a lot of time is just wasted. It's quite demotivating. So in the reverse, in order to motivate employees, you have to make sure there are clear goals and how process on how to achieve these goals and targets. And
Okay.
so everybody knows what they have to do, and we have to make sure that time is used effectively, so that there's no people don't just come and just waste time and go back home. It's quite demotivating when that is there. So we have to make sure there are clear goals and the processes are transparent on how people can achieve their goals. And also, in the form of recognition, you reward
Mm,
colleagues or
mm,
employees who achieve um, those goals. So basically, those are some ways where employees can be motivated. So there are two
mm,
different ways, actually. So there's more of the intrinsic, which is where the person is motivated through their own, either their own um, either emotions or by themselves. Really, it's something internal that is
okay.
motivating, and then we have the external, which is like an external factor that can do that. But both ways are
Okay.
motivation. But since we're looking at managers encouraging in this way, then we are looking at more of the extrinsic, more way of motivation. But like,
Mm,
yes, managers need to know their workers, understand what level they are at, and know how to apply all this um types of motivation. It's not a one size fits all,
mm,
and sometimes it's very difficult to just try to apply each
yeah.
to everyone. It can be difficult, especially if you're in a large organization. But we try to make sure we imbibe bits and pieces of all these, so that everybody at every level will be able to some have some form of motivation. Maybe lastly, I'll add that making sure that there's room for growth in the business, some form of motivation,
Mm,
especially at the
mm,
last level of the hierarchy. That's the Maslow's hierarchy. At the last level, we're talking about self-actualization, where people want to get to that level where they feel they have you know, achieved their goals in life. So we are looking at development.
yeah. Yes.
So there should be room for development. People shouldn't be stuck at
Mm-hmm.
the same level, doing the same thing all the time. There should be, room where you can try new things, add on new roles, do some form of rotation, so that you acquire new skills and move on, in terms of career growth. Yes. So basically, in a nutshell, that is that is those are some of
Okay.
the ways
So,
that managers
oh,
can.
thank you so much, Akofa. You mentioned
Welcome.
self sorry development now. So can we say that um do I call it promotion? is it form
Mhm.
of motivation as well? Oh, okay.
It is.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. You
You're
mentioned
welcome.
I was listening. You said you talked about good. You mentioned about award parts. I remember that I used to work with in fact just last year my boss just I was there. She's over in Nigeria. I'm in Ghana. She's there, and then I just received a like a soft copy of like an award. Like also, I mean, it encouraged me. It helped me to know.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that means she's actually thinking about me. She's
Appreciating what you do.
yeah,
Yes.
she appreciates what
Yeah.
I do, and then she sent that. So I was like, okay, I was really excited to get that. But anyways, thank you. That's just by the way. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Akopa. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next question.
Okay.
Um, so how does a leader keep his team motivated despite conflicts, obstacles, and maybe pressures from maybe your clients and all that? How do you do that?
Okay. So first of all, there has to be open communication between the managers and then the employees. Open
Okay.
communication, people should feel comfortable coming to the manager to speak, and the manager too has to have a good, rapport with the workers. Okay, so it is when there's conflict, we should try to resolve it as much as possible. And if you have a good relationship with the people you work with, and you have that respect, um, issues can be trashed quite easily. And
Mm,
um, everybody must get to understand the goal. When there's a clear goal, we are trying to achieve this. So no matter what comes our way, at the end of the day, something has to be achieved. And so
yes.
we are trying to manage whatever obstacles that come our way and make sure that the goals are met, irrespective of what comes our way. So this one, it
Mm,
depends on the management style of the manager, or then the relationship that he has with the
company.
people. And so
Mm,
the manager has to do a lot of work here, trying to resolve the conflicts and trying to make sure that everybody focuses on the goal and tries to achieve it, um, basically. So in this way, we try, or the manager has to try not to punish failures or mistakes. If there are obstacles, it could be processes, it could be errors in the process, or difficulty in the process, basically. So in this case, I mean, we try not to punish mistakes. You try to encourage, basically encourage employees to know that, yeah, we are human, you can make mistakes, and so we learn from it. And then, I mean, the the goal is to learn the valuable lessons when you make mistakes. Just learn the lessons and then move on. So in this case, managers have to be careful when employees are stressed in this case, because they are stressed, there are obstacles, they're trying to achieve a goal, and
yeah.
there's so many issues, and people are stepping on people's toes, and
Mm,
tempers are flying. You try and calm down the situation and make everybody aware that we are all here to achieve a particular goal, and
mm,
so mistakes will occur, people will get angry, but will try and resolve this, because it's not personal. At that level, it's not personal. It's in the process
yeah.
of trying to get the work
Mm,
done. So yeah, we learn the lessons, and then the manager has to play a key role of resolving conflicts. That's a skill as well, conflict resolution, and then ensure that at the end of the day, everybody is calm and ensure that the goal is met. Yes.
it's
So
not.
yes, there has to be a lot of communication and
Mm,
ensuring that people understand the situation they find themselves in, and still get a way of motivating them to see the goal. I mean, the focus is on the goal and making sure that that is met. Aside
mm,
that, um, the manager has to have the people at heart. Sometimes these
Mm,
conflicts
very
happen not
important.
because people are just, they just have bad tempers. Sometimes there's an underlying problem or an
Mm,
underlying issue, which could be domestic, it could be
mm,
um, health wise, it could be something else. So that's why there has to be that good relationship and communication between the manager and the employees. So at every point
mm,
in time, you know what is going on in their lives, and um, and then you know how to deal with such issues
yeah,
when they come up. Yeah,
mm. Okay. Thank you very much. It's good you mentioned what's the name? You mentioned the leader getting to know his team members or his employees.
very key,
A question
very
just
key.
came in mind. I was going to ask you that how do you differentiate between when someone is being lazy, just doesn't want to do the work, or when he wants to, he needs to be motivated? Do you get it?
Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So I'm assuming the employee has been with you for some time, and so you know there has been performance appraisals. You see how the person has been working, and so if there's a dip, then you need to investigate why.
Mm,
If all of a sudden the person doesn't show up at work or is given, wants an excuse
mm,
duty or wants to be off work for a period, then you need to have a talk with that employee and find out what is going on. Is everybody okay? Is your family okay?
mm.
If you have that good relationship and
Yeah.
communication flows between
Relationship.
both ends, you would get to find out maybe the son is sick, the wife is not well, there's a problem. A lazy person will always be a lazy person. I mean, from the onset, you see that the person has not been meeting their targets, and on top of that, always finding an excuse, not to be at work. For that one, you see that it's a continuous thing. But for somebody who has challenges, you see that okay, at one point they were at their high ends, and then something happened. It could also be like a structural thing that is affecting their performance. So you should know at that point where okay, do you need extra training? Do you need some time off? You could be very tired. Some people get really really
Mm,
stressed, and at the point they can't really perform anymore. So you need
yeah.
to know what exactly the issue is, so you know the right solution to give to that person. So there should be that track record, performance over the years, um, and so at that point you know whether it's just a lazy person
Only.
or there's actually an issue exactly,
Mm,
and then we find out um, how to approach that.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you. But also, how does a leader keep his team motivated and encouraged when he himself or she needs, like she needs to be motivated? I mean, he's human or she is human as well. She also needs to be
yeah,
motivated, but because she's a leader, she's focusing on her team member or his team member, and then
yeah,
literally forgetting about himself or herself. In that case,
yeah.
for example, I feel like if a leader is not motivated, there's no way he can motivate his own team members or encourage them. So how do you deal with yourself when you need encouragement and you still need to encourage your team members?
So there are two ends to it. Really, you cannot give what you don't have,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes you can actually do, try to encourage somebody else when you yourself you are down. I mean, personally, there are some situations like that. You might be going through the same things or similar things with someone else, and you are down and you also need some form of encouragement, but you still have that, you know, I don't know where it comes from, the energy to encourage somebody else, but you feel like okay, they need some encouragement at this point. So we
Yeah.
all can be down. So both
Mm,
ends work to some extent. As a leader, the you get to some levels where you play the role even when you don't feel like it. Okay, so you might be down, but your people don't need to see that, or else
that
it
you
will
are.
spread. It's like a bad, everybody will just catch it. It's like a flu. Everybody will just catch it, and you need to get the thing done. And because you are the leader, you have to make sure whatever needs to be done is done. So although
Yeah.
you are down, you still find a way of encouraging them. Look, you speak to them. They look up to you anyway. So you speak to them, try and give some form of encouragement. If it's on salary, look, the moment we work more and we achieve our goals, yes, things will get better, and we'll make sure that you get the right, you know, compensation. You give that encouragement. For management is not giving you the best anyway. But at the end of the day, the moment everybody gets to, you know, uh, get in the high spirits and work, you know that at the end of the day, the results will show, and everybody will get, whatever they
Mm.
deserve. So yes, at a point you might be
Mm-hmm.
down, and you know that there's really nothing you can give at this point. But you have to look at the role you play and the people that depend on you and your actions, and find some form of encouragement. The Bible says David encouraged himself. At a point, you have to encourage yourself. I mean, you have to find it somewhere. It's within. You have to encourage yourself to make sure that what has to be done gets done.
Needs to be done.
That's why you're a
Okay.
leader. There's some certain things it's the leader that needs to. Yes, you have to make sure you do it, no matter what situation you find yourself in. So yes, that's
I
what
see.
leadership is about.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm. Okay, so do you think that it's okay for maybe the leader to take a break and, I mean, to, how do I call it, rejuvenate or something, to help
definitely,
himself, uh-huh, to help
definitely. We are
himself
human. We get tired. We get tired. You get worn out. You get to a level where
mm,
you feel, I mean, you can't even think anymore. That is where we have retreats.
mm.
You have to take some time and just,
Ah,
get a
mm,
refill. Retreats are very, very important. Sometimes at the offices, we have this strategy session, and just make sure that you have it in a very out of the office,
mm-hmm.
a very calm environment, and so where you can think.
Environment.
Just,
Mm,
yeah. Although you're doing a strategy session, you're doing it in a nice hotel somewhere in Adan, somewhere in
mm,
Akusumbo. You look at the environment and you're like, you're just refreshed, and then you can actually think and have some rest as well. And that is why
yeah.
it is very important, no matter your position. Sometimes leaders, especially, or managers, feel like when I'm not there, nothing will get done. And so they don't take their leaves. Leaves are very, very, very important. You need some
Mm,
time off to get some
mm,
rest and to, get a refill. These are very
mm.
important. So yes, you have to take time off. You definitely have to take time off because we are human. We break down. We get tired.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean,
As you speak, I'm on
thank
leave
you.
actually. So I'm
Oh,
resting.
I see. Good to
Yeah,
know. Thank you so much, Akofa. I'm very, we are, in fact, we are honored to have you on the show. Thank you so
most
much. We've learned
welcome.
a lot a lot. Maybe as you say, not your two last words to us.
Sorry, there's a break. Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, and oh,
Sorry,
Akofa,
there's been a break. Sorry,
that's
I
fine.
lost you.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I was asking, maybe I should give you like a chance to, you know, say one or two things, one last word to our viewers, and then we wrap up.
Final words. Okay. So, yes, as a manager, it's very managing people is not one of the easiest things to do. We have different people
Mm-hmm.
coming from different backgrounds, and we're trying to achieve, a goal. And so it might not be easy, but one of the things that we need to realize that when you give people the respect that they need, or you give people
Mm-hmm.
respect and they get to see that you are an honest, you're an open person, you appreciate them, you understand them, it makes it easy for them to speak to you about issues. And so you get to know everybody, and then it's very easy to, or it's easier to know what makes somebody tick and what makes somebody, motivated.
Yeah.
So with certain employees, just a thank you note, a nice smiley thank you note on their laptop or their PC when they come to work, will
That
just
sounds
brighten
like
their day.
me.
And you know that, yeah, and they're happy for the whole day and they'll do whatever it has to take. They'll make sure they meet their targets and they do everything. They're very happy. And for somebody else, it might just be, you know,
Mm.
um, an open appreciation. Somebody else will need like, everybody gather around. Let's
Yeah.
let's say thank you to Patience for the good work done. She's been
Ah.
awesome. Everybody claps and then give her a bar of chocolate. And then that's so we need to understand our employee, um, and it
Okay.
will help us to know how to motivate. And also, we should try and um, put some fun in work as a manager.
Mm. Yes,
Um,
I
yes,
think I agree.
you move from the office, you come to work. It's like everything is just serious, 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 and then you go back. I mean, there should be some times that you can, just take some time off and take the team out, just have a lunch break, never told anybody. Once in a while, we do that in my office.
Mm.
We just have a team dinner after
Yeah.
work. We all meeting somewhere, you're having, and then you get people to, when people are relaxed, they talk about issues. And then
Yeah.
you get to know what's going on, there should be friendly competitions at work. It also helps in the team building. People get to, um, you get to see people's strengths as well. When you're having
Mm.
competitions and all that, you can, oh, this person is actually good um, at what they actually is not part of their core work. And so you can add
Okay.
on some responsibility in that area so that they
Mm.
build themselves and they learn new things. Um,
Okay.
Although it's
Mm.
competition is healthy, so people get to know, what else they can do. Some people actually don't know they have strengths in certain areas until
True.
something brings that out.
Yeah.
So healthy competitions, time outs in the office, some fun
Mm.
events,
Mm.
somebody's birthday. These are little, we think they're little things, but
Yeah.
they actually just get
To
everybody
go a long way.
excited. Exactly, and it actually helps them feel like, okay, I'm part of this.
Yeah.
Somebody's spouse's birthday, you actually do something for him,
Wow.
like, okay, just take half of the day off, just to go and spend time with
Wow.
the
I didn't
family
think about
because of
that.
it. Awesome. These are little things that somebody will just sit back and like, oh, my boss
Oh.
did it, and like, wow, it's some form of motivation for certain um
Mm.
for employees. um and let's
Okay.
celebrate our employees as well. When someone gets their master's degree, they have, added something to
Mm.
their experience or their education. We just
Mm.
celebrate it as a team. Um,
The team.
and yeah, just create some fun in the office. Every little opportunity to have fun, let's do it. I mean, it shouldn't be a daily thing where every time you come to the office, there's a party
Serious.
going on. But yeah, once in a while, just put a little fun in the things we do, and I'm sure the office will be like a
Any-
home away from home. I think that is what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be, a home away from
Actually,
home. But yeah,
I
we spend
agree
most
with
of our
that.
time in
I
the
agree with
office actually. We
that.
do, we do.
If I know.
Yeah,
True. True. Thank you
yeah.
so much. I've learned a lot. In fact, this is the first time I'm hearing that a leader um is motivating a team member by celebrating his spouse or her spouse. I mean, I've not
Awesome.
heard of that before, but I mean that's like a thoughtful, unique way of motivating.
Exactly. Sorry. Hello. Hello.